gorgeous souls, welcome to CosmoMuse Tarot and my regular Friday reading with yes, no, maybe answers to your questions. So this week we are going to be adding on, like I did last week, a guidance or advice around a question. So you are welcome to bring a question here that is not yes, no as well. So at the start of each pile, I will do some tarot cards to get that yes, no answer. And then I will get some oracle cards to get some advice around either the answer or your question. So if you are not asking a yes, no question, just kind of don't pay attention, just tune out that yes, no part, because even though the tarot part is focused around the yes, no, it does still add context to the guidance. So just, you know, be intentional when you go in that, like, I'm not worried about the yes, no, maybe, and then that won't affect anything about your question, and just listen to any sort of guidance coming in, both in the tarot and the oracle cards. Okay, that being said, we've got 3 piles today. Pile 1, we've got ruby fuchsite. Pile 2 is green calcite. Pile 3, we have malachite. One more thing, or a couple more things. When you ask, especially if it's a yes, no question, be very intentional, like clear with your question, and phrase it so that if you were to get a yes, that is what you would hope to get. Okay, that being said, let's dive into your readings. Timestamps are in the descriptions, and I will see you in your pile. Hello, my ruby fuchsite pile. I'm going to put your stone to the side, and let's just jump right in. We're going to do some tarot to get your answer. So yes, no, maybe for pile 1, filling that card. Got 4 of Swords, 6 of Wands, 2 flipped over in my hand, 2 of Coins and 7 of Coins. Okay, let me tune into these for a minute. Okay, 4 of Swords, 6 of Wands, 2 of Coins, 7 of Coins. I mean, with the 6 of Wands standing out here for me, it does feel like a yes. There's a caveat though, like you really need to calm, clear, and still your mind. Getting into kind of just a restful state where your mind can kind of calm its thoughts to come into a little bit of balance and harmony. That being said, so there is an action being asked of you to get the yes coming through. It's like, I don't know if it's like you need perspective by giving your mind space from it and not thinking about your question for a minute. And I think if you can do that, you'll see a way to win. You'll see the way forward victoriously to get your yes. And how to balance something. There's maybe something you're trying to balance or figuring out priorities here, but you will figure out the winning path, the way to balance things, how to hold maybe some complexity with the right prioritization, and then how to nurture. There's something like I don't know, for some of, you know, this might only apply for some of you, but it feels like for some, what you've asked about is like something you've been spending a lot of time nurturing and cultivating and trying to grow. And I would imagine with the yes coming through and then seeing 7 of Coins, it's just sort of like continue to nourish what, you know, the growth of things here. If that makes sense to you. But there is a yes here. Just spend some time on mindfulness, getting clearer, calming your mind, maybe getting out of your mind for a minute. And that will really help you to see the right way through this, or the right things to think or know or act on. Okay, let's now move into some oracle cards to get a little bit of advice around this. We do already have the advice of calming your mind. Let's see what else can come through here. The energy is gaining momentum, waxing moon. Yeah, I feel that with the 7 of coins in conjunction with the 6 of wands, it's sort of like you've been working hard at something. And it's like, trust it, it will grow if you continue to nourish whatever's going on with your question. Sorry, one second, my dog's trying to get a book off my counter. Hey, no. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, let's get another oracle card. Flipped right out. Practice freedom, release the weight of judgment. Interesting. Well, I mean, that could be something about why you need to calm your mind or get out of your mind, is sort of like clearing it, right? Maybe you have some judgments you need to clear out, or maybe there's some judgments that are influencing you, that are creating some weight on something around your question. And it's like, either way, whether these are your own judgments or external judgments, it's like needing to clear your mind. Yeah, whatever you can do to, release the weight of that, and tune into that there is momentum here being indicated. Okay, last oracle card. The Outlaw. That is interesting, coming right after release the weight of judgment. You're maybe needing to do something that's a little out of the box, or your question has something that's a little rebellious in nature or out of the box in nature, different, whatever, however that matches for you. But it feels electric to me. The card isn't necessarily electric, but the whole vibe, once this card came out, it feels, I don't know, I feel the weight coming out over that. It's like kicking something to the curb. But sitting right next to that eagle that's just, like ascending into the stars and the lightness of the rainbow, it's just like, free yourself of judgment so you can make your break with tradition, or make your break from a construct, or kick something to the curb. Just like, I don't know, something's freeing here though. And you're starting to gain momentum in knowing how to do this and finding the courage to do it. I do feel there's something here about finding the courage to put on your rebel outfit and release the weight of influences and judgments, and just doing what feels right to you around this question. Yeah, so that's what's coming through. There is a yes here, but a little bit of work to, I don't know, it feels like coming into the courage you need, like calming your mind to come into your clarity and your convictions or something. Okay, this is where I'm going to leave you guys. If this resonated, I always appreciate support with likes, shares, and subscribes. Always grateful for kind and thoughtful comments, but thank you for being here. That in itself is very supportive and helping me to do what I love. So thank you, and I will see you in future readings. All right, see you guys. Hello, Pile 2. Welcome to your yes, no, maybe reading, along with some guidance to a question whether or not it's a yes, no question. So you guys picked the green calcite, which I'll just put to the side there. And we're gonna just jump right in and do some tarot cards to get that yes, no, maybe answer. And right away we have some cards. 4 of Cups, The sun. Ooh, I feel the sun coming out like you've been in a cave or like in a little bit of a depression or something. And I do feel the sun, like a lighter time coming. Knight of Cups. Let's get one more. Nine of Swords. I mean, with the sun and that being the only major arcana card, that is the focal point to me. And that sense of depression being felt, also some anxiety there. Both of these figures, it's like anxious and contemplative. It feels like trying to calm some emotions to help calm your mind, which is interesting. There is like, I mean, I don't always love revealing things from the other piles and the yes nos, but like the first pile had some similar things going on. Must be universally in the air or something about this. But it definitely feels a little different though. But there is something, yeah, I mean, I think there's contemplation needed, some space needed to sort of calm something in your mind that's making you anxious. And to me, this is saying like, hang in there. You're really close to coming out of that state, out of this kind of cave of contemplative despair is what I want to call it. And like, bookmark between these is what is waiting, trying to break out, trying to break free. And it's just like, sometimes you just have to allow time for process, time to let things move through you. These things will break free eventually and kind of outshine, cover up these. But I do think it's going to take it's going to take a hot minute. Be patient. You're close. You're almost there. Some clarity is coming. Some lightness is coming. This is where you will get to. This is what the yes is pointing to. Is lightness, fun, clarity, a certain alignment as well. But also, I mean, it's an interesting juxtaposition here with this like very carefree, childish energy with this Knight of Cups that feels very kind of sophisticated, like, you know, like one of those high concept installation artists. That's what he feels like. So it's an interesting contrast here, but they both feel light. At least compared to the two kind of more in the cave cards. So I do feel you coming into lightness, but also in that lightness, finding your sophistication or some kind of sophisticated understanding or solution or path forward or knowing with whatever you've asked about. But I feel like you're kind of going to go through the bright light phase, and then once you've sort of received the light, kind of come out of the cave, found this alignment, you'll then drop back into, this is a real roller coaster. It's like coming from the depths, the bottom, the dark night of the soul, straight up to the pinnacle of something. And then you kind of come down from that high into a more stable place where you really integrate, mind, body, soul, heart, all the things, and find this like really kind of elegant, sophisticated way of being around this question or way of doing whatever the question revolves around. But it does feel a little roller coaster at first, like way low to way high, and then you're gonna, find that stable place. But it's it's like, hang in there. This is definitely a little bit of a journey though. Okay. So under all of that, there is a yes, but hang in there. It's not a yes overnight. It's there's a roller coaster involved here. But the worst of it, you're about to come out of these, the Nine of Swords and Four of Cups. You're about to come out of those. Okay, we're going to do some oracle cards now to get a little bit more guidance and insight into things. Say yes. Now is the time to be open and receive. So I don't know if an invitation or an opportunity is coming, or you might just feel that sense in you of like saying yes to life again, to going out, to being more social, to getting outside, whatever it is. Whether it's just more you feeling your energy coming back on as yes, or some opening opportunity invitation comes and is urging you to say yes, to move from the sort of like, you know, in the forefront of the card, it's like the sepia tone or grace, you know, not quite black and white at first. It's sort of, I don't think it's sepia tone, but like in that more muted palette, it's like dull. That's like how life feels right now. And soon, whether it's just you kind of saying yes to life or saying yes to something coming your way, it's urging you to just say yes either way, and you're going to walk into that sunny, bright, you know, vibrant energy that the sun is showing here. Okay, let's get another card. Oh, that wants to come out right away. Your commitment is being tested, first quarter moon. And I always think of first quarter moons sort of like sunrise or spring energy. It is that waking up from sleep or coming out of the winter. And so that aligns with like coming out of the dark night of the soul. It's like, and this is just saying it's timing too. There's just something that's been in a natural process. It's taken you into kind of this, you know, incubation cave to contemplate and soothe your mind a little. But that sunrise is coming. The day, the awakening, the spring energy is, you know, closer than you think is what I feel. Okay, last oracle card. Paradox. Fascinating. That feels like what you're contemplating and what's giving you some anxiety, something about your question or the state of where you're at. There's a paradox that you're trying to riddle out. And I think it's just gonna, I don't know, just like tuning into this image, I just feel you kind of like, I feel you on the outside of this circle, and these like little dots, things feel dispersed, random, incohesive, but they're gonna start coming into a little bit of order soon. And then from that order, it's like they sink into a still single point in the center, and then things like turn on. And so that's like the process. I feel this as a process. There's a paradox you're in, or that your question connects to, or that you're contemplating and that has you anxious. And it's like, I don't see any clear way through here, but things are going to come further and further into order and singularity. So yeah, just hang in there. There is a yes. Give it time. It's the natural, like you're in a natural process of something, so it will just come. Just keep doing what you continue to feel you need to do next, and you will start to feel that order coming more and more into place. Okay, if this resonated, I always appreciate support with likes, shares, and subscribes. Always grateful for kind and thoughtful comments as well. And yeah, definitely just thank you for being here in general. That is supportive and helps me to do what I love doing. So yeah, thanks for being here and letting me read for you. And I hope you have a beautiful day and good luck with your question. And I will see you in future readings. Hello, my malachite pile. I'm just going to put your stone over to the side here, and we're just going to jump straight into this yes, no, maybe reading as well as guidance. With the tarot, meant to find your answer right up front. Filling this card. Got the Hermit, the Moon. What is going on in the universe right now? These readings have a lot of similar threads. It's interesting. Okay, two more. Death. Three major arcana cards. We're going to get one more, but that is, four major arcana cards. Well, this is definitely the pile of more like the questions that hold a lot of weight, right? So we've got all major arcana cards. This is an interesting one. I feel like I don't want to do a tiebreaker, but I kind of feel a 50-50 going on here, but I just need to feel this a little bit more. What is this image even? I can't tell. Oh, it's got like a flashlight in the dark. So it's interesting that there's three cards in what is like dark or night, and then one card that's more, I don't want to say daytime, it doesn't feel like they're in a nature environment, but they're in like a more light space, ascended space almost. Yeah, I feel a lot of like entrenched under the surface of things here, and then like ascending up here with the Lovers. I don't love throwing a maybe out, but I also am not, it doesn't for whatever reason feel right for me to pull one more card as a tiebreaker. I feel like these are the cards that are supposed to be here. And so what I'm feeling is that there is a maybe here. There's still a lot, and it does feel, that feels very accurate. It felt right to me to say that. It felt grounded and accurate for what is coming through as I kind of piece this together. There's a lot you're processing. There's a lot that is not quite clear about your question, and it's in the process of a transformation. It's like, the caterpillar is in the chrysalis, and it's, turning into the soupy mess before recongealing as the butterfly, which naturally puts things in a state of like, there isn't clarity. Things are chaotic in that state. There is confusion. There is a lot of like inner processing of things here. And so the best I can give you is that you're just in a state of transfer, like you're in that process, in the soupy, chaotic middle of some kind of transformation, whatever you've asked about is at least. And there are going to be choices to make. And I feel like as those choices present themselves, as they arise, I do feel you'll know the right things to do, and I do feel like you will come out of the depths here and the unclarity here, and you will feel light. You will feel that butterfly thing come about. But I think there's like choices that you're still weighing and measuring and contemplating and processing, and it's just it's unseen how that, we know a butterfly's coming. We know that you're going to get to a state that feels light and good and peaceful, but we don't know what that's going to look like. So underneath it all, there's sort of I don't know if I could say yes, but there's a positive something coming. The butterfly is going to birth out of the chrysalis, and that will feel good, and it'll feel light, and it'll feel positive. But you can't imagine what the colors of that butterfly are going to be or how big it's going to be. Like, there's a lot of unknowns about what that butterfly is going to be. It's coming, but we don't quite know. There's still like a lot of decisions and contemplation and things that are mixing in with this incubation phase that takes some of your energy and involvement, and it's constantly evolving. But I feel like just saying, like, even though I can't quite give you a yes to real specific things about your question, there is going to be some kind of outcome that feels light and beautiful and like a butterfly in time, not right away. This feels like it's going to be a minute. So maybe with a silver lining of that whatever does come of things, even if your question becomes irrelevant because of what's going on here, like at the end of this, there is a lightness coming through. Okay, let's get some oracle cards to end your reading. It's okay to be misunderstood. Perception is not always based on the truth. And that makes so much sense to what I was already feeling up here. It's like things aren't necessarily meant to be clear right now. So naturally, it's hard to find understanding right now. I don't know, like misunderstanding to me is maybe a step farther than I want to, what feels present to me. It's just like lack of understanding or unclarity. Perceptions are shifting, things are incubating, things are changing and evolving constantly around something with this question. And so don't try to hold firm to judgments or convictions or objectives. Like lean into the evolution of what's happening here, because something beautiful will come of it. You just can't imagine what that will look like exactly. So just be okay with perceptions being a little fuzzy right now. Lean into that. That can be a really beautiful place of potential, right? Okay, a couple more oracle cards. Adjustments are required, third quarter moon. Yeah, there's a lot of tweaking and feedback and refinement taking place too here. There could be things you're rethinking and having to redo as well here. So be open in that soupy place to being adaptable, to allowing an evolution of things to take place, which means you need to be able to pivot, you need to be able to make adjustments, you need to be flexible, adaptable. Just allow things to evolve. Don't get too rigid in any thought or any particular outcome, and just know that in the end there is something beautiful coming. You don't need to know exactly what that looks like. Just be open. Okay, last card. Get wild. Yes, just get into your body, get into sensation, get into that. Get wild to me is very animalistic. It's just, letting go of the sophistication of thought and reason and logic, and just moving through your body and what it wants, and when it wants to scream, and when it wants to touch the earth, and when it wants to cuddle up into a blanket, and when it wants to be fed, and when it wants to I don't know, just go up and hug the person next to you or punch a pillow. Don't punch the person. Even if you feel that in your wildness, go find a pillow. But it's just like, yeah, just, I don't know, just like get into instinct, get into body, get out of your mind. Just let things evolve and just be present and raw with it, because transformation is taking place and something will birth from that feels like this, that feels beautiful and light. But you just have to get into the muck of it right now and be there and enjoy it, lean into it, is what it feels like. Okay, interesting. Yeah, so definitely some similar threads throughout all these readings, but very different vibe underneath it all. Okay, so this is where I'm going to leave you guys. If this resonated, I always appreciate support with likes, shares, subscribes. Always grateful for kind and thoughtful comments as well, but thank you in general just for being here. I feel the support. I thank you for allowing me to read for you. I love doing it. And yeah, good luck with whatever your question is, and I hope you have a beautiful day, and I will see you in future readings.